All right, teammates. October 2024, we starting a new book, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. This book, New York Times bestseller, 4 million copies sold. His Instagram, I started following on Instagram. I think he got 12 million followers on Instagram. Like, man, this guy, oh my God, he has done a lot. He's obviously impacted and influenced a lot of people. So we just gonna rock with him this month for the month of October, and we gonna get through it. All 362 pages. We gonna rock with it. We need to stay on track so we can finish too. All right, so this is the book we're reading. Formal education to pay your living, but self-education to pay your fortune. This is how I self-educate. I'm sharing it with you. I hope you get something out of it. All right, let's go. This is in the introduction. So he's kind of basically talking about, looking back on his life. I guess he's deciding to write a book. He says on page 13, I went on to explain what I knew from experience. Basically, he was having a difference of opinion with this professor talking about people changing their life for the better. I went on to explain what I knew from experience, that anybody can become a totally different person and achieve what so-called experts like him claim is impossible, but it takes a lot of heart, will, and armored mind. Basically, they change when they want to. They change when they decide to. They change when they are unwilling to compromise. Compromise destroys conviction. That's a word. All right. That's my insight number one. Compromise destroys conviction. He says it takes a lot of heart, will, and armored mind. Then he goes on and he quotes this philosopher about 100 men going into battle. And basically that means everything is a numbers game in life. Then he goes on to say he's had a tumultuous, devastating childhood. So he ended up leaving. His mother left her abusive relationship. They went all the way across the country to get away from this abusive relationship. He ends up in a new town, but he has to do the second grade over. And listen to this. Annunciation was a small school. Sister Catherine taught all of us first and second grade in a single classroom. With only 18 kids to teach, she wasn't willing to shirk her responsibilities and blame my academic struggles or anybody's bad behavior or learning disabilities or emotional problems. She didn't know my backstory and didn't have to. All that mattered to her was that I turned up at her door with a kindergarten education, and it was her job to shape my mind. Oh my God. Teachers got an amazing responsibility. And my insight is leaders also have an amazing responsibility. When you consider a person's background and emotional, blah, 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 that's tough. To be successful fast, that's why you want to find people that have a thread of success in their background. Because, I'm not a marriage counselor or therapist or a psychologist or a healer or a minister, any of that. I'm a business person. We got to find people that have a thread of success in their background. Now, if they show up, they got to show up dressed, fed, and ready to play. All right, that's point 2. And the last point, and I'm going to let y'all go. So he was struggling like crazy. He gets to the school with learning disabilities and all this emotional trauma. So now he's going into the third grade, the second grade. Anyway, the second year at the school. And it was not going good with his new teacher. Mrs. D was all about productivity. She was saying keep up or get out. Meanwhile, I felt backed into a corner. I knew that if I didn't show some improvement, I would eventually be shipped out to that special black hole for good. So I found a solution. I started cheating my ass off. Teammates, that worked in elementary school. But my insight is cheating is not a long-term strategy. There is no shortcuts. In business and in life, in relationships, cheating gonna catch up with you eventually. It might can get you in certain situations like this, got him through this 1 year, a couple of years of school, whatever, teacher passed him on. But teammates, cheating is not a long-term strategy. We got to do the right thing all the time. That's the definition of discipline and character. Love you guys. It takes a lot of character to win. Love you guys. Let's get into this book. We'll run this back again tomorrow.